sport really changed. Especially soccer. Sport really changed a lot. Sometimes you can't determine whether the decisions made is honest or it's based on a political idea, a political agenda.
Should be sufficient. Seems relatively clear. Penalty is given. Julian takes. And Julian scores. La Jodimos went the right way.
It's because when you look at sport, you understand that it's not about the game itself. There tends to be ideas behind certain outcomes in sports. Because it's mainly about business and politics first, before it's sport. Yeah, I mean that's the show, right? That's what makes the show. That's what makes the show. The politics and the sport, the politics and the business is what makes the sport.
Here's Almada. And can Griezmann finish it off? Griezmann for the third. Well, he started the move, Antoine Griezmann, and he finished it beautifully. That is that. 3 points for Atletico Madrid. There is the full-time whistle.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about sport. It's just. It's mainly just about. Because at the end of the day, it's about selling something to the consumer. And if the consumer, resonates with that product, then it sells, right? And I mean that's the sole purpose of this system, life in this system. The consumer is what runs the show, and that's what lives in sports too, so, because it's a business. So it's important to understand that people shouldn't take the outcomes personally sometimes in sport, because it tends to be a circus too. It's just a bunch of things happening, just to cater to the emotions of the people watching. Because the people watching are the ones who finance the events, who make the events possible. The people get, the executives get richer from the people's ignorance. That's how the show is run. That's why ignorance is heavily invested in and is normalized. But of course, that sector of normalization is not exactly viewed, perceived by the general population. And the general population see it as, they're doing what they want and what they desire and what they aspire to do. Because it is true, the system is powerful. It very so much is powerful. But what makes it powerful is the culture of the general population, the state of mind of the general population. That's what ultimately makes it. That's what also ultimately makes everything sell. That's what makes the system go around. Because the system is the people. The people are the system. I think people don't recognize it. Because the people are divided. And that's where the politics comes in, right? The politics contributes towards, aims at, and contributes towards creating a society that is divided, categorically divided. No matter race, gender, age, anything that can separate the people, and any type of difference amongst people is invested in. Because it's easier to control the people when they're divided than when they're one, when they're united. When they're united, then it's difficult. When they're divided, it's easy. And you see how you can tie everything in together. You can even sport is just how you see it. Because at the end of the day, it's a system. Everything resonates with each other. There's no point looking at it from a subject. Everything is interconnected. And I mean, that's what makes the world, right? Everything has an interconnected relationship. Everything derives of each other. Everything, exists and serves a purpose. So that's why everything is interconnected. So that's why it's about. I think human beings' duty is to understand what he's living in. It's important to understand what you're living, and you can come with these conclusions even when looking at sport. Because everything is commercialized. Everything is commercialized. So I think it's important to look at the commercialization of sport, because sport is a business. It's a business because people want to watch it. People are attracted to something. It means it can sell. If it can sell, that's business.